So and then there's also kind of a separate component, which is this whole online content and learning system that there are some that you can do a subscription to. And so how does that work? Does like a teacher get that subscription, or is it for a school, or yeah.
Yeah, so we have seen it in different ways. So it's basically what we have is a platform with a
Mhm.
very modular activities. We have, from like design thinking to mythology to
Mm.
exploration of the solar system to building the rover and blah blah blah. And then we have some tracks that can connect, all things related with space, or we have one that is also to build a theme park, has more to do with like simple
Oh.
machines, like the typical one. And it has also some parts of like ideation and empathy from design thinking, because basically, I mean, the goal here for me is to help schools to make projects and to help apply knowledge in those projects. And so we're trying to make them very multidisciplinary and just
Mhm.
show how, this budget that sometimes the schools get to do design thinking, which, it was a fashion, and then they got a lot of money to do design thinking, and then it's just is like in an island. It's not connected to anything, and then they're forgetting it, and
Yeah.
then they don't know how to use it. So we're trying to, bring these things that schools have been taught to do, put in islands to bring them together. But some schools still want to say like, I don't care about the design thinking part. I just care about the STEM, because that's
Mhm.
what it's like the buzzword right now. So I'm just going to do STEM. So, that's okay. You can have that model of like STEM, or we have right now, because of this gap that grow during the pandemic, we have a lot of the schools trying to engage more their children in math and literacy.
Mm.
So especially for bilingual kids,
Mhm.
sometimes doing something with their hands levels the ground for them to show what they know.
Right.
And so our lesson about mythology has been pretty popular for that
Oh.
particular part. So they get to read something, write something, and then they create a character about those sorts of things. So that has been, so that's kind of like how it's very modular,
Mhm.
and we adapt a lot to what the schools are needing in that way. And we, through all these things, we have professional development for the
Mhm.
teachers to be able to use it.
Nice. Nice. And so we were talking earlier about teachers being interested in like in classes for them before launching something like this in their classroom or something, in order to kind of get an overview and figure out how to best utilize it. Are you doing some of those, or is that kind of handled through the whole content system?
So we actually have we try to partner them sometimes, like schools, and create
Mhm.
like a community of practice. We have a
Mhm.
group that is called the Kitco Pioneers, that, they chose their name, but it's like a WhatsApp group that just became very big. And now we have like the Kitco Pioneers that do like microcontrollers, and the ones that are doing more like elementary school. And what we're trying to do is to have these teachers belong to a community of practice that, it's going to help them through implementing something like this. I
Mhm.
have found that, just going for like 2 days are telling them like, oh, this is how you build linkages, and this is how,
Right.
like simple machines work, and this is project-based learning. 3 days
Mhm.
later, reality crashes, and they have to do all this paperwork, and they have all these kids that have like, their own realities, and, project-based learning what. So, if they don't see other people implementing this and seeing like how they are, going through whatever they're going through, it's harder. So we are very into creating this community of practices.
Nice.
And yeah, the platform is one way they can use it, but as I said, sometimes the teachers create better projects than our platform, and we are just trying to say like, well, if you want to publish it, we can help you to do that.
The more people you can get involved, the better the projects are going to be. That's
Yeah,
definitely.
I agree. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking, like, open sourcing this and just seeing where it goes. That's something that I might be interested in doing.
Cool. Cool, cool. I don't know what I have going on here, but
Well, when you finish the creature or whatever that is gonna be,
Yeah.
let me know how
I
it's
don't I
gonna
don't think
go.
it's going to be a good one for your content system, unfortunately.
Well, you never know. You never know. The more sometimes the more constraints you have, the more your imagination goes.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Definitely. Yeah, some of my most creative work has been working within fine constraints. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes too many choices are like.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming for me for sure. Or especially I find if I don't have an idea ahead of time in my head about what it is that I want to build or achieve or explore or demonstrate or something like that, if it's like completely open ended, then I kind of get this paralysis of choice.
Right.
But if I have an idea in mind and it's like, no, I want to build something that does this thing, then it's way easier for me to just like dive right into it and like hone in on learn all the things that I need to know to achieve this goal that I have. And I
Right.
know that not everybody is like that. Like I feel like people who are more artistic just, they do this thing of like exploring the media and they don't necessarily have a goal in mind. It just sort of like progresses and grows as like the more that they work with tools and materials. And yeah, that's like totally not how my brain works at all.
Right. Yeah. That's why also we have these tutorials, so it can help you to like
Yeah,
explore in a more structured way.
yeah,
But yeah, for me, yeah, I need constraints. Like I need to, as you said, I need to have a goal. But if I have like the more constraints I have, I feel like it gives me more focus in
yeah.
some way than the opposite. I guess like I constrain myself is harder than if the environment constrains me. But yeah, there is a great movie by Lars von Trier that have to. So he has like Lars von Trier. So he's a filmmaker that make Dogville.
I'm terrible with movies. I
Yeah,
hardly ever watch them. So I
yeah,
watch
yeah.
TV series a lot more than movies for whatever
I see.
reason.
Well, he
Yeah.
has like he's a very famous filmmaker, and he has his most like adored filmmaker himself, right? Like, and he's this guy that he likes a lot, and then he make a movie for this other filmmaker,
Mhm.
constraining him like very like you can have to make this short with like this camera in this location, this amount
Oh,
of minutes, go. And he keeps like getting him like do films in this very constrained environment, and it's like he's doing like some awesome very shorts on those constraints. So
cool.
yeah.